Hi everybody, thanks for tuning into another video. Today what I'm going to be looking at is a product called iCue Nexus from Corsair. I haven't done too much research on this, to be honest, but I think it's aimed at gamers more than anything else. It's a companion, it's a touchscreen companion, which if you've got a Corsair keyboard can mount to the end of your Corsair keyboard. And if you don't have a keyboard, I believe it does come with a standard sort of desk mount that it can cradle into. And that is what I'll be using because I definitely do not have a Corsair keyboard. I use a Logitech keyboard. And the thing that most interested me about this was effectively the sort of resource monitor type display you have there. So you've got a view there of CPU core count, the sort of CPU core utilization and metrics, GPU, and some other stuff as well, right? So I was quite interested to have that sort of stuff right in front of me and see what the experience is like with that. And then aside from that, the fact that you can ultimately customize the display to show pretty much anything you want by the looks of it. And it's touchscreen, so some useful quick action macros there, some sound controls or everything at your fingertips might be quite useful. May not be, who knows, we'll find out. Again, I do think it's aimed at gamers, and you can see it's got some sort of a Tom Clancy sort of affiliation there, specifically around Rainbow Six, where they've got the logo for Rainbow Six there. Fantastic game. If you haven't played it, Rainbow Six Siege, I definitely recommend to play it. And one of the three ribbons they're advertising on the box there is dedicated to Rainbow Six. So not too much more on the packaging there. You can see it shows us what's in the box, and we'll see that in a minute. But it does look like it's got a desktop stand in there as well. Let's just go ahead and crack this open. And then, I don't think I need my knife today. I think I can just open it from the top. There we go. Let's open this up. I ordered this, I will need to take these little labels off at the bottom. I ordered this about 3 months ago, and it seemed that it was just never going to come in stock, and I actually eventually forgot about it. And today it just dropped through the post. So I don't know if it's, I don't think it's particularly a new product, to be honest, but it doesn't seem like it's been in any sort of high level of stock anywhere. But then, to be honest, at the moment, what is in stock, right? Nothing's available. Better documentation, which we will not waste our time on. Warranty guide, which might be useful. The unit itself. So, right, first thing we look at, very short USB cable there, and I'm sure it's got an extension cable, which, well, mind you, it connects directly into the dock, which is nice. So that itself is a display. It's a very small screen. You can see how thin the actual display is there. Most of that thing around there is the bezel. So the small display there. Let's put that aside. The actual desktop dock is nice. It's got a full rubber base, so that's going to provide plenty of traction when it's on the desk. That's not going to be moving around. So that's going to sit quite nicely, probably in front of my keyboard, I suppose. And I think it comes with a couple of other accessories. This is probably to pop it in and out of here, I'm guessing. Sort of crevice type tool. That's probably useful for opening up a mobile phone or something. And then what else have we got in here? If we just open this up, we've got a few additional adapters. As you can see here, what have we got? We've got, these are for various keyboard attachments, I believe. So they've definitely got double-sided sticky tape on them. Now I wonder if you could ultimately stick this to the underside of your monitor, maybe like that, and have the display mounted in a sort of invert fashion. That would be quite an interesting configuration, because I think that would, if you can flip this 180, I might even just consider sticking that straight onto the underside of my monitor, to be honest, and have it right under the display. That would be quite useful, I think. And it would be a bit higher up as well, so easy access to the sort of screen there. So let's see how this fits into the desktop cradle for now, because that's probably where it's going to end up. So the inside there, you can see there's a USB port right there, and I assume that's where this cable needs to connect into, like that. Yep, there we go. That's USB cabling. And then the display itself has got some cable management under it to keep the cable tight on one side. If I squeeze that in there, and it's got a nice braided cable, by the way. After that, I think this should just sort of slide in, make sure I'm getting it the right way around. I believe it's going to slide in something like this. Now, maybe if I read the document, I wouldn't be struggling as much. But let's be honest, who reads paperwork these days? I most certainly do not. And that thing there is annoying. Maybe I should have taken it off. I think once this goes in, this is going to be in. And hence that tight tool they've given us to get this thing out once it is in, because it's not going to be popping out. There we go, it's in. Look at that. So now that actually looks like a complete unit, doesn't it? And it will sit on the desk like that. And because of that nice rubber base at the bottom, again, a lot of traction. When you're prodding away at that display, it's not really going to be moving around. And let's be honest, I'm actually going at it hard here, but you're not really going to be tapping it. It's a touchscreen, capacitive touchscreen by the looks of it, not a resistive touchscreen. So it's going to be quite nice. And then the USB cable there, good quality Corsair braided cable there, as you can see. Typically what you'd find on a nice, good quality gaming keyboard and mouse these days. That's pretty much a standard. And you've got here's a USB port there. So that ultimately, I mean, it looks like this comes off. I don't know why it's like that, but it doesn't come off. It just, yeah, it doesn't come off. It definitely does not come off, I can confirm. So let's go ahead, set this up and see what it looks like on the desk when it lights up. And then we'll go ahead and install the software and just have a little play around with it and see what this is all about. Right, so here's the display on the desk. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it into a USB port now, and we'll see it turn on for the first time. Let's just get that in. Right, so that's in now. That's just powering up. I'll reduce the exposure a bit. You'll hopefully be able to see it a bit better. So it's, I'm guessing if I touch this, it might start some software installation. It has done. So as soon as I've done that, the browser has gone onto the actual website for this product, and I can install the software. So I think what I'm going to do at this moment is I'm just going to pause the video and we're going to go over to the PC, install the software, and then see what the options are for this nice little device. Right, so this is the website that launched when I hit this button over here, as you saw, after plugging it in, and it went straight to the Corsair website for this product. And now I'm going to just click on download to download the actual application, and then I believe I'm just going to click on download now, and it's downloading some iCue software here. So once this is installed, hopefully the display is going to change and we'll be able to play around with it and see what it's all about. So let's just select our language, go ahead and install quickly next to everything as quick as we can, because who wants to read all that stuff really? Go ahead and install. Now, I don't know how much there's going to be available in terms of download options. So maybe you can download additional skins or themes or button packs or icon packs or whatever they might call them. I'm guessing there definitely will be additional downloadable packs for games maybe. So that's installed. Let's launch this now. And there it is. If I bring that into view and close the browser, so this is the focus. There we go. So you can see the display has changed. Well, I've my profiles. So here you go. So it looks like you can download and add profiles. I haven't got any profiles downloaded, but we'll just go with the default here. So I want to add an item here, for example. Let's give it a name, button name. So test one, I suppose. And it looks like we can change the font as well of the button. So let's just choose something to see if that changes or see how it looks on the actual display. Let's go to something funky. So there we go. You can see the font changes, and you can change the actual size of the font there as well. And then let's see what we can actually do with it. So you can either make it a button or a widget now. Don't know what that means at the moment, I suppose. Add a widget. Right, I guess, okay, cool. So this is going to be something that's displaying some information. Let's say we want to see my CPU temperature. Save that. There it is. Or my GPU temperature in this case, as it may be. That's my GPU temperature. Nice. So let's say I want to add, what is this? I don't want Corsair.com there. Sorry, Corsair. We love you, but we don't want that there. Let's go ahead and add some further information. So system info. Let's add the temperature of my, or do load, CPU load. So the CPU I've got there is a 3950X. So this is looking good now. The main thing I bought it for was for these. But then let's just say we wanted to add some buttons as well, right? So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of quick start because we definitely don't want quick start. Let's see what we can do with buttons. So where can I actually choose what I want the button to do? I'm guessing it's going to be, this is the background for the button, so we don't want background. Action, so we can add an action here. So this is the way you can, in this way it gets exciting. So you can launch an application, record some macros, so keystrokes. Maybe you want to switch between desktop profiles or something. Profile switching to switch between actual profiles on the iCue device itself. Timer, well, you can even start a timer, why not? Media shortcuts, so play, pause, stop, rewind. Text shortcuts, interesting. So you can type some text here, and ultimately when you hit that button, this is going to output maybe a password, maybe an often used password. Let's do something like launch an application. So I want to launch an application. Let's see what I can launch. So just say I want to launch, I'm going to launch Crystal Disk Benchmark. There we go. That's what I want it to do. I want it to launch Crystal Disk. Actually, I want to launch Google Chrome. There we go. Input URL. So let's just say I want to launch YouTube. YouTube.com. Make sure that's a colon and not a. Make sure that's cool. Right. Okay. So I think might work. Let's just do save. Okay, and now we've got a button name to give it, so let's just call it YouTube. And let's save that. So I think that's done. And now on the actual display, if I reduce the contrast there, you can see this is mirroring. Oh, let me lock the exposure. Sorry, that's very bad of me. And if I go ahead and hit this button, it's launching YouTube. How cool is that? So it works, definitely works. And there you have it. I think you get the idea here of what's going on here. If I hit the temperature, these widgets, you can't do anything else with them because they're just widgets. So it's going to be interesting to really customize this. I don't know if you can have multiple screens that you can swipe left and right on there or not. It's really going to be interesting to play with and seeing just how much functionality I can get out of this. But initial thoughts are, I think this can be quite useful once configured correctly. Button libraries, you've got widgets lists. It looks like you can do a lot of customization on this. Yeah, so there you go. I hope this gives you an idea of what the iCue Nexus is all about. And if you're thinking of buying one and you weren't sure, maybe this lets you know whether it was right or wrong for you. Any questions, please post them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, or if there's anything you want me to try out on this, definitely please let me know and I will try it for you. There's some brightness adjustment here as well, which is probably quite useful whilst I'm recording. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below if you're thinking of buying one. Ask any questions, I will try and answer them for you. Thank you very much as always for watching this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you, take care, and all the best.